What? Right, so let me explain the current situation. A few weeks back, because we're all stuck inside, as you know, I decided to build like a sim rig out of scratch. Was aiming for it to be like a foldable one out of wood, but I haven't got all the hardware to do that, so I've still got one that's static but it's functional and it works. I took you through that process in that video. Since then I've done a subscriber race with people, because obviously we can't go to car meets or anything at the moment, so I thought, why don't we do a Gran Turismo race with some subscribers, which we did. It went well. Video wasn't really popular, but we all enjoyed it, and that's the main thing. Now in that race was a chap called Luke, or VTech Luke if it comes to his like PlayStation Network name. He was in the chat with about 7 of us, all just chatting about what we were using. Some people using controllers, some people using like Fanatec gear, which is like up there, some of the nicer stuff. And I was still using my old trusty Logitech Driving Force GT from the PlayStation 3 days, just with an adapter on it so that I can play it on PS4. It's a bit rough on some games, but it kind of works pretty much sound on Gran Turismo Sport. I had the wheel for years, always been brilliant. 2 pedals with like a little add-on shifter or the buttons on the back for the flappy paddle. Happy with that. It is what it is. I can enjoy sim racing whilst we're stuck in. Whilst we were racing, we were in like a group chat, and Luke was in this chat, basically explaining to me that he just recently purchased a whole load of new like Fanatec gear, and he had a Thrustmaster steering wheel just pretty much laying around. Now, because I've been enjoying sim racing a lot more recently, because I can't go out and I don't really have as much motivation to work on the car outside, as you do, you look at the kind of things you can get, even if you can't really afford them at the time, or even when this all stops, I might completely forget about sim racing. Fingers crossed not, because I'm enjoying it at the minute. And I was looking through and I thought, as an affordable next level option, I'd be looking at the Thrustmaster T300 series. Now, I never mentioned this at all. The first thing Luke said to me was, I've got this Thrustmaster steering wheel. It's a T300. I'm not using it. There's some noise it's making with the force feedback. If you want to have a look at it, because I never had a chance to look at it myself before I just upgraded to a better wheel. But if you want it, you can see if you can fix it. If not, fair enough. If you can, or you just want to use it with the noise, it's all yours. Obviously, I'm in a chat with loads of other people, and I'm just shocked at the time. I thought, I'm not going to get really excited about that because it might not happen. It might not happen. So then, me and Luke were talking back and forth, and he pretty much said, yeah, I've got the wheel, got all the stuff. It's this edition. If you want it, you can have it. Send me details. I will post it, yeah. And I am now in possession of the steering wheel that I would have wanted to save and get if I still enjoyed and still got into sim racing, but for absolutely free. Let me put some other things into perspective for you. So not only is this the T300 Thrustmaster steering wheel, not only is it the T300 RS with 3 pedals including a clutch, this is the T300 RS GT edition, which is basically a Gran Turismo centre cap on the steering wheel. I'm not sure if that looks any different anywhere else, but you've also got steel instead of plastic pedal plates that are fully adjustable as well, so you can move them up and down, left, right kind of situation. So they are like proper solid hardware in pedals as a pedal set. One of the other key features about this compared to the wheel I've got before is the wheel I've got before, the Logitech one, is a gear driven system. It kind of goes gear driven, belt driven, direct drive, which is what I've gathered from looking online. So belt driven is like you're stepping to a nicer quality, more realistic wheel feel, because you don't have 2 gears that are turning each other and making that grinding noise when you turn, or grinding feel should I say, because this might make some noise still. This is a belt that pulls it instead, so it's quicker, more accurate, overall a more realistic feel. So I have to stress, this is not a sponsored video or anything. This is literally an extremely generous subscriber that has given me 3,500 quid's worth of simulator gear. I'm lost for words. Luke, thank you so much. I don't deserve this. The words you've said to me whilst we've been speaking have been really kind, and the fact that some of you take like 10-20 minutes to just sit and watch me do something out of your day is good enough when it comes to being generous. But the fact that a subscriber has done this for me is unreal, and it reminds me the support base and what we've built through the channel. It's just mad. So enough of me being absolutely gobsmacked and babbling on. Let's try and get this mounted, because we don't have the clamp unfortunately, but hard mounting is meant to be stronger anyway. So I've luckily found 2 bolts that are going to fit with the hard mount threads, and we need to drill some holes in the rig, get it mounted and get it tested, shall we? My word, my word. Okay, so at the minute I'm using just a Mercedes SLS AMG, just something like a powerful sports car, so I could get the feeling of the force feedback and of the wheel losing traction, that kind of thing. So the pedals work absolutely fine. The brake has actually got some, like a rubber cushioning that's been put that you can choose to have on or not to make it feel a bit more restrictive, like a real brake pedal would be. The other thing is I haven't got the clutch pedal working yet, but I think that's something to do with the settings of the game that I'll need to do. Other than that, there is force feedback and there is vibration, but that grindiness is not allowing the wheel to do exactly what it wants to do. Look, it wants to go to centre like a normal car. See, it didn't then, and it didn't then because the wheel's stuck. If you get a touch, it does it by itself. Get a touch, it does it by itself, that kind of thing. So the shifters work fine. Like, look, the wheel's reacting to the traction of the car, but there's just the stickiness and the vibration that shouldn't be there. That's the problem, which is annoying because I can feel the potential of the wheel, but it's like it's not allowing itself. So let's split it in half and see if we can find out what the damage is. Okay, so first things first, there's this centre ring here which is covering up the partition between the 2 sides. So this needs to come off first, and then we'll have a look what's behind there. Luckily they're not very tight, these. Okay. Now what you'll see is there's a screw here, and there's one same as that one on the other side. And then once we remove those 3, then we'll have to take this base off, because we're going to get underneath there. Because we're going to get underneath into there, and obviously the desk's in the way. So these 3 screws first. Now these are exactly the same as the other screws I've just done, so you won't get them mixed up. Something that does worry me is these like 2 little wires here with a rubber band around them hooked onto this point, and there's 2 plugs on them, but the plugs aren't going into anything. I don't know if that's a manufacturer thing or it's for if you have a different wheel that requires more wiring, like an upgraded wheel. I'm not sure, but we'll leave that there for now. Okay, so if we nice and gently flip this over, try to disconnect all the wires bar one that you can't take out. So it's all these ones around the edge here that we need to do, not the ones that are on this base. There's 2 holes here, that's for the hard mounting, that's what I've just taken out. So let's see if we can get down with this thin screwdriver again. Again, they are also the same screw, so you could literally have a batch of all these in one place. You don't need to separate them. I'm just trying to keep in mind when I put these back on not to over tighten them either. So if we tip that back over, that should now. I saw something about some tabs, so I'm trying to be careful because I don't want to break them. Oops, I just kind of did it off camera, but I'll put it back to show you. So it clicks in. You do just lift it from the back side, and there you go. It releases off these tabs here. Right, so that's that open. That's the belt and the motor. Is that belt slack? I don't know. Now, not that I'm being a stickler for warranty or anything like that with Thrustmaster, but there are some red screws in here. Oh, I know you probably already noticed, but there's plenty of cards about. It were our 1 year anniversary a couple of days ago, so yay to us. Yeah, so I'm going to try and avoid using these red screws, but I've seen things about the belt possibly being slack. This is the motor where the belt runs on. You can undo these screws and you've got a few mil of movement. Although that doesn't look like there's really any slack. It looks like it's a bit of an angle in there, but that's just because it's pressed up against this pulley here. So I'm not sure about that. What I think I'm going to do is, because that piece there is literally to cover it up. So I think I'm going to hard mount it back on again, turn it back on, and see if I can see the issue happening and listen for it. So then looking at it, the noise is either coming from the motor or it's coming from this centre section here. So as you turn it, that coils in and out. But I can't tell which section the vibration's coming from. See how there's a bit of strain there on the motor when I'm holding the steering wheel in place. Once I let go, it moves it back. Is that because there's something sticking in here? Or it's not set up correctly like the driver software? Is it because something's sticking in here and it needs re-lubricating? I don't know. Posted it into a few forums and I'm going to have another look and see what kind of conclusion I can get to. So then, after posting in a few Facebook pages, as well as looking through God knows how many forums, all the different like sensor problems, force feedback problems, motor problems, there's loads of things that I've eliminated, and I think there's something that I have actually found that is wrong with it. I'll show you what I've gone through though, just in case you might have this issue. So basically I've worked out that I don't think it's this middle section that's doing it, because when I'm not in game, or when it's off, it's not doing that noise, which says to me it's something to do with the motor and the force feedback. Speaking through a few people, also speaking to Mark from the channel An Ordinary Sim Racer, go and check him out if you want to. He's been helping me out with like suggestions on what to have a look at. I thought it was a mechanical problem, but it might be something more like sensor electrical based. One of the main things that usually goes wrong is coming out of the motor here, in the centre there's a magnet that spins. I don't know if I can show you. You can see that spins there in the centre. Now usually this housing has a split in it or breaks, and what that does is it puts off the balance of this little board here that's got a sensor on there that senses the magnet, so it lets the motor what it needs to do. I've taken all the housing off and there's no cracks in it, no nothing. I've moved the motor up and down to put more tension or less tension on the belt, tried it twice, so that's just relaxed some decent tension on it now, and that's not making any difference either. I've accidentally came across a video on YouTube by somebody else saying they had a problem with their force feedback, and it's because this little black wire here and there's a little white one underneath it as well weren't in there properly. So I've tried pushing them in a little bit further, still the problem hasn't worked. But then I'm thinking, well, if it might be something to do with that, is it something to do with this circuit board here? And then I noticed right there, if you look at that soldering, that is not soldered anymore. Which means, one, I get to break open my brand new soldering iron, which I'm going to use for another job, but I didn't need it. And two, if that fixes it, then we are absolutely set. This has been proper doing my head in for about 3 days now, going through loads of different things, running different software to try and update it. Fingers crossed, from process of elimination, this might work. So no, it didn't solve the issue, unfortunately. It's really annoying because it's such a generous thing that somebody's done, and I really want to make it work. The only other option, I had already sent a request to Thrustmaster explaining the problem. Sometimes you can send the base off and they can fix it, but I don't know if they'll actually do that now, especially with the fact of one, it wasn't originally mine, and two, I've done some soldering on it, which they'll clearly see. I don't know if there's a problem with that white connector next to it. I don't know if the problem is with that circuit board itself, or that, I think it's a resistor, I don't know what it is, the chunky black thing I was soldering back on. I don't know. If you guys know anything more than me, or what the problem may be, then please let me know and help out, because I don't want to throw it away, I don't want to sell it for bits, but we'll have to just see what happens. If you have enjoyed this video either way, please like and subscribe to the channel and click the little bell button so it reminds you when a fresh video does come on. I'll be rocking the old GT Driving Force, the Logitech Driving Force GT for now. And until next time guys, like I always say, enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.